Hello? Is this thing on? What's going on, folks? I'm back. I had a wonderful time away, as you can tell from my sunburn. We were outside a little bit. I would say I went on vacation, but I just spent 5 days and 4 nights at a water park with 3 children under 10. So I'm looking forward to some relaxing days with Twitch chat now that I'm back. Apparently, while I was away, they finally made some balance changes to Historic. Better late than never. I'm sure a lot of these won't be a surprise to those of you at home that have been keeping up, but I haven't looked at the full list of changes, so let's run through it. Cauldron Familiar can't block. Thank God. Maybe attacking with creatures is back on the menu. This is set a low bar, an overdue change, but a good change. This is, you can attack the food deck now, which is lovely. Meat Hook Massacre. Removed whenever a creature opponent controls dies, gain 1 life. So they made this card a worse control tool, but still a pretty good aristocrats tool for draining people out. Seems potentially reasonable. This could be a good change as far as alchemy is concerned. This card didn't see a ton of play in Historic, so probably doesn't impact things there. Dragon Rage Chandler now goes from 2-2 to 2-0. Sure, we made a card that's kind of omnipresent in the format. Strictly worse, likely still playable. We have unbanned creatures with 5 and 6 toughness in Historic. That's a good change. It was really weird to me when they just like blanket banned every creature that had less than 7 toughness. So it's nice that 5 and 6 toughness creatures are playable in the format again. This is a very good change. Ooh. Now triggers when 1 or more non-human creatures you control attack. So 1 or more non-human creatures you control attack. Look at top 6 cards of the library. Oh, so they didn't make her less consistent. She still looks at 6 cards, but she only triggers once per combat now. That's interesting. So you can still flip a really high value card like Tovolar Huntmaster or an Angrass Marauders, but you only get 1 of them. I have to feel like this is probably reasonable, right? Like getting Huntmaster especially seems like a really good payoff still. And kind of a mid-rangey creature deck. We will definitely try and play some Winota in Historic Methinks. Yes. We had some comments on Twitter about this. I think it's really comical to me that they just banned this card in a format where they can edit the text on it. They said that, like, they tested nerfs to it would effectively eliminate the and this justification is really weird to me. We discussed rebalancing, but each change we considered would effectively eliminate the combo, so we've banned it instead. And it's just like, it's not even like this is a rare, right? So like banning it doesn't even do people a favor in terms of giving them wild cards back. Like if this was a rare or a mythic, I'd be like, okay, sure, ban it to give people compensation, but nobody needs uncommon wild cards. So the justification of we could have edited the text on this, but editing the text felt like soft banning it, so we're just going to ban it is real weird to me. And it feels like they kind of don't get it when it comes to digital rebalancing. So hopefully, they said they might rebalance it in the future. Hopefully they do that. It's a digital format. Stop banning things, edit and change. Where he gave some buffs to a handful of things that probably don't matter. Should be 2-1 counters or 1 or more target creature control. They gain vigilance and lifelink. Sure. Activity changed to white, reduced from 4 white taps. So it used to cost 5, and now it costs 1. Okay. This is probably still not playable. It's weird to me how they... Maybe this is good. 1/1/1/1. Exile a creature with the greatest power among creatures an opponent controls. This might be a meaningful change. It's weird to me how they buff a lot of these things, like unplayable cards to buff to a state that's still unplayable. This could maybe be okay inside of a hardened scales shell. Getting 2 counters starting on turn 2 and then exiling something on the 4th turn is not nothing. So maybe okay. Now, 4/1/1 counters if kicked from 2. So it's going to be a 6/6 with trample that gives your other creatures trample. They made this cost 3 from 4. As long as you put 1 or more 1 counters on a creature this turn, it gets trample and lifelink. Nah, again, a lot of these seem just like effectively non-changes. Like I feel like they need to take a lot more bigger risks if they're making these changes. All of these changes kind of scream to me we're afraid to break these cards with these changes, but they shouldn't be afraid to break these cards. If they change something and they break it with a change, just try again. Like it feels like they're balancing in these formats like it's a paper card game still. And obviously they have 30 years of experience in a paper card game and a lot less in digital, but they need to take way more risks. Like, small extra stat line on a card that's just like still, yeah. Are any of these changes meaningful? It doesn't seem like it. I'm not going to go over all of these. I'm going to skim and maybe comment if something jumps out at me. If I skim past something that you think might be playable from a change, comment down below. But yeah, like, this is now a 1/5 from a 1/4. Like, yeah, that really wasn't the reason. Now it's loyalty 2 from 3, and ultimate is will loyalty. So they just like gave it an extra loyalty. Sorcerer class level 3. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, that spell deals damage to instant sorceries you cast this turn. That's so hard to enable. It's just draw 2, discard 2 at the top level. Maybe, like, they just nerfed the Phoenix deck. Maybe this could go in that, but I'd be skeptical. Instant sorcery or wizard spell. This gets 2/0 till end of turn. They gave it haste. Maybe. These are quality of life changes, basically to clean up the wording on things. Okay, so overall, changes to historic cards all look great. Cauldron's Familiar changes good. Meathook Massacre changes good. Darcy good. Unholy Heat good. Winota was nerfed and unbanned. I think my closing comments are two things. It's 2 parts of the same thing, really. Just Wizards, if you're out there and you're watching this, take more risks. Like, why don't I have Oko to play with an historic yet? Why don't I have Field of the Dead to play with an historic yet? Take all of these cards that have been banned in historic and nerf them and give them back to the player base so we can play with these iconic, sweet designs that lots of players like myself would love to play with. And 2, go crazier with these buffs. Again, just like take risks. If you overshoot on a buff and give people a new deck to play with for a little while, that's so much better than undershooting and making a bunch of meaningless changes that largely don't impact constructed. So just more. Do it more, do it bigger. If you shoot and you miss, it's better than to have not shot at all, which is like effectively what they're doing at the moment. At any rate, we'll be back tomorrow morning on the 15th, 9 a.m. Central, with some live Magic Arena content. If you want to catch it after the fact, it'll be up here on YouTube. This was a direct to YouTube video. Thanks everybody for watching and Free Blood Chilled while I took a couple of weeks off of Magic stuff. You got deck lists. We're going to be looking at Historic. We're going to be looking at Alchemy. We'll probably poke at some more Explorer. Hopefully we'll get news on the new Historic anthology with Pioneer staples in it coming to Explorer sometime soon. It should be this month or next month. I forget what the exact timeline is. I don't think they've shared that exactly yet, but if you got deck lists, you're a subscriber to my Twitch channel, hit me up in the subs Discord. I'm looking for deck lists there. If you're not a subscriber, you can ping me on Twitter for deck list ideas. Gonna be looking for stuff to play. I'll catch you this week, and I'm gonna be live this weekend. I'm gonna be live for the next 7 days on Twitch, Friday through Friday. I guess that's technically 8 days, but stop by 9 a.m. Central every single day for the next 8 days. We'll be doing Magic and Marvel Snap and a handful of other things as well, I'm sure. Peace, folks.